Setting up. All right, here we go. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today for today's month of service presentation of our Money, Health, and Wealth Financial Capability Series. Today's topic is holiday spending, planning for the holidays without breaking the bank. My name is Nia Murray. I am Programs Coordinator with Neighborhood Recovery Community Development Corporation, and we are one of the partners in the A Month of Service collaboration. Also included is the City of Houston's Department of Neighborhoods, and joining us today, Ms. Myra Hippolyte. And our financial Money, Health, and Wealth Financial Capability Series is sponsored by Family Houston, and presenting today is Ms. Mona. I was about to say Monet Cheney with Family Houston. So thank you guys for joining us today. But also included in the partnership is Lone Star Legal Aid, the Earl Carl Institute, Houston Volunteer Lawyers, Houston Bar Association, Harris County Appraisal District, and the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector's Office. And together we make up a month of service. We started doing the month of service collaboration several years ago when each of the individual organizations were kind of working and doing their own thing, but we wanted to collaborate and create a larger impact and reach a larger audience to make sure that we get information out to the Houston and Harris County and surrounding counties for those underserved areas that don't necessarily have access to information, to resources, to know where to go for help, for any kind of assistance that they may be in need of. So if there's anybody here or anybody watching us on Facebook that is interested in free financial coaching, whether it's with credit or debt management or savings or, get more information about various insurances or making large purchases and whatnot, then definitely tune in each month so that you can get that information, or also reach out to organizations like Family Houston for more detailed one-on-one financial coaching. So with that being said, this is an interactive presentation. Please feel free to ask whatever question it is that you like. We want to, however, respect your private or protect your privacy as much as we possibly can. So please don't give any personal detail information about your finances, your location, where you live, and so on and so forth. This session is being recorded and will be sent out to all of the participants that registered today. We are also broadcasting live on our social media platform at Amos Houston TX on Facebook. So again, we want to try to protect your privacy as much as we possibly can. Please feel free to type whatever questions you have in the chat, or if you feel comfortable, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the questions directly of the presenter yourself. Or if you're following us on Facebook, please feel free to type whatever questions that you have in the comment section, and we will also make sure that we go over that aloud at the end. So with that being said, again, thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. And we want to go ahead and introduce our partners and our presenter for today. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So Ms. Myra, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Ms. Nia. Thanks, Ms. Monet. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Myra Hippolyte, and I work with the City of Houston Department of Neighborhoods in the Office of Neighborhood Engagement under the direction of Division Manager Paul Green. On behalf of Mayor Sylvester Turner and Director Takasha Francis, we want to welcome you to the Month of Service collaboration. The Month of Service is all about giving back free information to the Houston, Harris County, state of Texas community. We want to make sure that whenever you go through a stressor in your life, and whatever stressor that is, we want to make sure that you have all the information you need to make the right decisions. Many times in our lives, we go through a different stressor and we wish we knew, step one, step two, which way would it be easier to go straight ahead or all the way around? And many of us know the all the way around process. So we want to try to educate you on the easiest and straightforward process that'll make your life easier. Thanks, guys. We just want to let you also know that you're not alone. We're walking right by your side. And of course, we're not going to hold your hands. We are going to give you as much information as we can. And this is all for informational purposes only, but it takes you to come to our virtual workshops and, just take a little bit of time of your schedule to get educated. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day.
Okay, Ms. Monet, you're on mute. That'll help.
I'm so sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Monet Cheney. I'm a financial coach with Family Houston, and we collaborate with NRCDC to bring financial information to everyone who might be in need of new information or a refresher on how to handle your personal finances. I'm going to bring up the slideshow so we can get started. Today, we're gonna focus on planning for your holiday purchases without breaking the bank, because the holidays are coming up. Actually, Christmas is already in the stores already.
My broker said that she went to the store trying to get last minute Halloween candy or whatever on Monday afternoon. She says all the Halloween stuff was already gone and the shelves were just packed with nothing but Christmas and Thanksgiving stuff. So they didn't even wait till the date was over.
Yes, Christmas is already here. And if you haven't planned for Christmas already for this year, then this presentation is going to focus on how to prepare not only for this year, for next year as well. Because it is good to plan for Christmas a year in advance, because we already know it's going to happen every year. And we can already start, setting aside money and having things ready. So when next year comes around, it's less work that we have to do. And those funds are already set aside to cover all of your holiday expenses. So with that being said, it's good to have a holiday budget. So as you're going into the holiday season, honestly, holiday season starts in October, November, and December. So as you're going into the holiday season, those last 3 months of the year, is creating a monthly budget each year, each month, that includes how much you want to spend on the holidays. Of course, if you're someone who celebrates Halloween or you have kids, you want to budget for that. If you're someone who celebrates Thanksgiving and spending time with family during Thanksgiving, you want to budget for the cost of food or other parties and things that might be happening this month around Thanksgiving. And then Christmas, of course, you want to, budget for the cost of food, attire, and gifts. So when you start to create that holiday budget for the holiday season, it's good to look at how much you spent last year. So, and that can be pretty easy. You can go back and look at bank statements from last year. If you already kind of have a ballpark of how much you spent last year, then get an idea of how much you spent last year and if you plan on spending about the same this year. I do understand that when you have children, as they get older, Christmas gifts get more expensive. So you might have to increase your how much you're spending on gifts, as well as with inflation, of course, food and other supplies that you need for the holidays are going to cost more as well. So you have to account for, the increase in those things as well. But create a base budget on how much you want to spend on the different expenses for the year based on last year. Next, set a per person spending budget. this is good because it allows you to budget how much you want to spend on gifts. So writing a list of everybody that you plan on purchasing Christmas gifts for, and then based on how much, and then set a price or how much you want to spend per person. Because then that's going to help you be able to plan how much you're going to need to spend on gifts for your family and friends and whomever else that you purchase Christmas gifts for. Next is set a budget for holiday parties. If you're a social butterfly like myself, and you're going to be, or you're the hostess with the mostest, and you like to host during the holidays, then of course you're going to want to set a budget for those holiday parties. Of course, if you're someone who attend holiday parties, you're going to want to budget for your food, any type of attire that you need to purchase, as well as if it's a requirement to bring a gift. Because I know like some holiday party, it might be a Christmas pajama party, or it might be like a potluck type party, or it might be like a white elephant type party. So budgeting for, having to purchase those things for those events. And then of course, if you're the person who hosts every year, then it's going to be budgeting for, your food and drinks, as well as attire and maybe gifts for the parties that you're hosting. And then lastly, set a budget for holiday decorations and any other miscellaneous spending that might come up during the holidays. I know sometimes, like some of us, we like to go all out for Christmas decorations, or we decorate for every holiday and we want to change it every year. So, setting that budget for those holiday decorations. Of course, doing this is not only going to help you save money for the holidays, but it's also going to help you avoid overspending as well, especially if you're someone with a fixed income or a fixed amount that you want to spend for the holidays. So once you plan for this holiday season, then once the season is over, it starts to plan for next year. So just having a plan for next year. So of course that money can already be saved and set aside, as well as sometimes purchasing gifts throughout the year. Those gifts might be cheaper versus during the holiday season. Gifts might be a little bit more expensive, especially if you're a last minute shopper. So again, we're going to start with keeping a gift list. So having a list of everyone that you purchase gifts for, as well as keeping a list of things that they love to receive as gifts. So just making a gift list for friends, family, as well as, like I said, holiday parties. If there's certain type of holiday parties that you attend every year, then having a list of a gift list for those things, because what you can do is shop deals during the year for holiday gifts, as well as shop any sales that might be happening throughout the year. Or you see something special that would be fitting for a particular person, then you can already purchase those things. So then when the holiday season does come around, you don't have to worry about the stress of going out and purchasing gifts. Another thing that I didn't mention as far as budgeting per person is considering gift cards as a gift option if you're someone who is on a strict budget. There are a lot of options such as like Amazon. I'm using Amazon, for example, because they have where you can, or what is it, Apple, like Apple cards, like those little gift cards, they come in packs. So you can buy like multiple gift cards in one pack. So if you're someone who is sticking to a certain budget, you can possibly consider getting gift cards for everyone that you're purchasing gifts for. And then next, start saving for the next year at the end of this holiday season. So in January, start saving for next holiday season, or at the beginning of December, you can start saving for next year's season if you're considering like the 52 weeks of savings challenge. And with the 52 weeks of savings challenge, basically what that does is each week you set aside a certain dollar amount based on the number of week that you're on. And at the end of 52 weeks, you should be at about 1,400 saved. So if you think about 52 weeks, there's 52 weeks in a year. So at the end of that year, you should have about 1,400 saved. So if you're saving for the holiday season for December, then the 52 weeks of saving challenge would have to start at the beginning of December. And that's pretty simple because in December, you're only saving a small amount of money because it's $1 for the first week, $2 for the second week, $3 for the third week, and $4 for the fourth week. And you just keep saving whatever week you're on. That amount keeps increasing the closer you get to the 52 weeks. And so December, you're starting off at a very small amount. So it's easy to start at the beginning of December. So then by next December, you already have about 1,400 saved that you can spend for Christmas gifts and any other holidays expenses that you may have. The next option, if you don't want to do weekly saving challenge, you can look at monthly payments that you put into savings. And so these monthly payments is going to be based on how much you're expecting to spend next year, and then dividing those that amount into 12 monthly payments. And I do recommend that you pay yourself first. So whatever that monthly amount is, you set aside that money as soon as you get paid. So you're paying yourself first, and then you use a savings account that's out of sight, out of mind, that's separate from your checking. So then that ensures that that money is, that savings is being maintained until you're ready to spend it at the for the next holiday season. Lastly, save extra income during the year. So tax returns, if you get a tax return, if you get bonuses at work, if you have like a side, maybe you want to do a side job or a second job to earn some extra income, then setting aside that extra income during the year. And again, it would be the same thing that you would do with the monthly payments, is selecting a savings account that is inconvenient for you to pull from. It's out of sight, out of mind. So as that extra income is direct deposited into that savings account, you know that that savings is going to be maintained. And one thing I do recommend is looking for saving account options that have that offer buckets. There are some banks that have saving accounts that basically they have saving buckets. So you pretty much have one main savings account, and under that savings account, you can divide your saving goals up into different buckets. So you can have one for your holiday spending, you can have one for emergencies, you can have one for vacation, you can have one to save your savings for your future home. Whatever those savings goals that you have, you can create buckets under one savings. A lot of online banks, such as, and I'm not sponsored by these banks at all, but for example, Ally Bank, they offer buckets, saving buckets, so you can have multiple saving goals under one main savings account. So that means you can separate your Christmas fund from your other savings. And that way, you know for sure you can reach whatever that goal amount that you're saving. There's also other banks that have saving buckets as well, such as like Smarty Pig and Capital. I believe Capital One has it too. But you can go online and do a simple Google search, or use websites like Bankrate or NerdWallet and search for banks that would allow you to have a higher interest rate. So your holiday savings can be earning more money during the year, so you can have some extra money in that savings once you get to the end of the year, and you have extra money in that savings from interest, as well as, like I said, having a savings that's out of sight, out of mind, that you can deposit those monthly savings into. Is there any, does anyone have any questions, or do you guys have anything you want to add that you do for the holiday seasons? And you can also type it in the chat box if you don't feel like unmuting and speaking.
Don't be afraid. We can call on somebody too.
I know, we like to learn from each other. So there any strategies that you do to budget for the holidays, or to not overspend, or even to save? Please feel free to share with us. You can unmute and share, or you can type in the chat box.
Couponing and bargain shopping.
Yes, I'm going to get to couponing and bargain shopping, because I am a queen of apps, and there are quite a few apps out there where you can earn cash back and earn points. So if you're holding on to those points and that cash back all year, then that means you have some funds built up. So by the end of the year, you can use those funds towards your holiday expenses. Same thing with couponing too. Again, it can be adding subscriptions to your favorite stores or places that you frequently purchase holiday gifts and supplies from. So paying attention to those coupons, and throughout the year, if you're seeing like good coupons on for certain stores, then again, you can go ahead and buy those gifts throughout the year, because those coupons, they come all year long. So if you see some really good deals, then you're going ahead and taking care of those gifts as those deals come along, because sometimes in the holidays, we don't even see a lot of coupons for the holiday season, because they want you to spend more money. So having like those options to receive coupons throughout the year can definitely help you save on purchasing gifts. Anyone else? Okay. So I do have just an example of the 52 weeks of savings, just so you can see how it works. So yes, at 52 weeks, you should have about $1,378 saved. But again, if you're considering some of the interest that might be added on, or you might want to add some extra funds along the way, then you essentially can have about 400 or over 400, 1,400, I'm sorry, 1,400 saved for the year. This is a very good challenge to do. And because I feel that is easy for a lot of people to accomplish. I personally did this challenge before, and along with a roundup, rounded up my change, and I saved about 1,900 in 52 weeks. I did it for a vacation, but regardless of like what my end goal was for those funds, this challenge actually worked. So if you're someone that can stay on top of like the weekly deposits, then this challenge can actually work, and you can actually have that 1,378 saved by the end of the year. And if you add this challenge along with adding extra funds into your savings, then of course you can have a lot more than the 1,378 saved. So I definitely recommend just taking a screenshot of the challenge, or you can Google search it online and find this exact same table to know exactly what you need to save per week. And if you feel like some of the amounts might become challenging, of course, when you get to the double digits, then another thing is when you have a monthly budget and you're reviewing your spending weekly, there might be ways where you can find these amounts in your weekly spending to be able to meet this goal. Especially if you think about how much we spend on like eating out, that there could be ways where you can find the money to meet this goal. So Nia brought up couponing as a way to save during the holidays. So we can expand a little bit more on that and just talking about how to shop wisely. Again, shopping wisely can happen throughout the year, or it can happen in these last 2 months of the year as we start buying Christmas gifts for Christmas. So signing up for email lists and memberships for your favorite stores is a good way to not only track daily and weekly deals, but it's a way to get coupons. And so when you have those email lists, when you subscribe to these stores, or you have subscribed to their free memberships, not only are you the first to know about different deals that are happening, as well as coupons. Some of them offer cash back, or they offer points. So as you build up those points, then by the end of the year, you might have enough points to get something free, or to basically to cover something for free. There's also websites, I think it's called like, I think it's pronounced Rakuten. I'm not for sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's a cashback website. So if you're purchasing things online, then what Rakuten does is it's kind of like in the background. And if you make purchases online, then you get a certain percentage back as cash back. And then as you build up that cash back, when you get to a certain amount, then they send you a check. And so those are funds that can go into your savings for the holidays throughout the year. And then there's also other ways that you can get cash back as well. And then it's just like Ibotta is another app to get cash back on groceries. And then there could be some other options available where you can get cash back, and then you could just save that cash back until the end of the year. And that can kind of give you some extra funds for holiday spending. Next is shopping around to find the cheapest price, and then ask any stores if they have price matching policy. My understanding is that Walmart and Target price match. So asking them, like, what are your price matching policies? I know that Target will price match prices online. And I even had them price match from a price that was on Amazon, as long as it's not a big difference. So check the price matching policies, as well as like certain clothing stores. They might have different prices online than they do in the store, but they might be willing to price match based on if it's a cheaper price online. And then next, use store apps for coupons and retail me not. Most stores, they do have apps available that you can download onto your phone. And sometimes using the app, you get different deals than you would get via email. Also, some stores give you points if you're using the app. So look into those options as to get extra deals and coupons. And then Retail Me Not is an app that you can search coupons for different retailers. So if you don't have like a subscription, email subscription or membership with certain stores, that maybe there's stores that you don't shop at all the time, Retail Me Not is a good app to have, because then you can search the store and see if there's any available coupons on there, available store coupons that you can use. And then lastly, consider using store layaway options if available. So check into store options that might still do store layaway options. Do anyone have anything to add as far as tracking deals and coupons?
I always say also make sure that you, especially when it comes to like the holiday meals, or for folks that have like large families, not to feel overwhelmed with thinking that you have to purchase everything for everybody. Make it a family game or something where you're pulling names, or something to that effect, or whatever, to make it a little bit more fun or a little more interactive, as opposed to trying to spend money to shop for everybody. Or like when you're cooking the holiday meals, make it a potluck. I know everybody don't like to eat everybody's cooking, but or even if but it can get real expensive if you agree to host a holiday cooking a holiday meal or whatever, and you're responsible now for cooking for everybody, that meal is going to get really, really expensive. So at least have somebody to chip in on the groceries, or, you know, everybody that's sponsoring a dish. If you want to cook, at least have them bring the supplies or whatever, you know, to you to cook, you know, on your behalf. But otherwise, you know, that can get very expensive. So that's a good way to kind of cut back a little bit too for the holidays without feeling so overwhelmed. And another thing too is, as opposed to spending Christmas gifts, trying to figure out other ways to enjoy the holidays, or make it a give back instead of a receiving gift kind of holiday. You know, have a family outing where you're donating your time somewhere, or, you know, you have a lot of, there are so many seniors, so probably many of your neighbors that still don't have any more family, or family that lives out of town, and they spend those holidays by themselves. You know, go out and kind of spend that time with somebody else and give back a little bit. And, you know, that becomes a very giving and good kind of a feeling to spend that time with somebody else, or to volunteer somewhere else, as opposed to thinking about that the holidays is about receiving, and buying and buying and buying, as opposed to what the true meaning of the holiday is really about. So that's just kind of something that we, you know, have done. We even had a swap meet one year. So when families got together, you know, everybody brought a random gift. It could be a gag gift, it could be a regifting gift or whatever, and you swapping gifts with somebody that you've never even met before, just because, and you'd be surprised at the kind of stuff that you actually receive just by doing a swap meet. You know, so just kind of come up with some little creative little ways to do things. Pinterest, what's the other? Of course, TikTok and YouTube have all kinds of little things that, you know, create creative gift giving ideas that that won't require a lot of money, especially for small children. Have them make gifts. You know, go to the Dollar Tree and buy a bunch of little crafts and things like that to have them make gifts for somebody else in the family for the year. That's a great idea. And of course, kids will love that too, you know. So especially for those smaller kids, they don't really know. You could probably go in your room and go grab a gift that they haven't played with in years and re-give them that same gift, and they'll never even know. So, but I know when my girls were small, they used to get a kick out of just opening stuff. They didn't really care what was inside. I gave my daughter a box of styrofoam one year, no joke. I gave her a box of styrofoam. She was so excited to get that and just to play in the styrofoam. Cheapest thing I could ever get my hands on. So, you know, I'm just saying, it's an idea.
Yeah, I definitely love the potluck ideas, because that's something my friends and we do all the time. We might get together and like each person is cooking a part. So like recently we did like a brunch. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing the chicken. And so then my friend did like some TikTok cinnamon rolls. And then my twin sister, I don't know what she contributed, but it breaks up the cost, because, you know, when you're hosting and you think about food, and depending on the number of people you're going to spend, you're like probably looking at up to like $300, $400 to feed and have drinks for people coming. But then if you're breaking that up and each person is spending about $30, $20 to $30, then that really going to drastically cut how much that you're going to spend.
And where the couponing and all that stuff kind of comes in, if you plan well enough ahead, the pantry items, or the non-perishable stuff that you can keep in your pantry and start buying, you know, a month or so well in advance, so that you're not waiting to the last minute to go and spend all that money on the shopping and things like that. That helps a lot too.
Yeah, a lot of the grocery stores, they all have an app. So HEB, Target, I'm saying Target have groceries too. So HEB, Target, Kroger's. I'm not for sure about Randall's, because Randall's expensive, so they're not on my radar. But I'm pretty sure
We
Randall's have an app
we are
as
in no
well.
way, shape, or form promoting or or advertising other, please use at your leisure.
Yeah, so most of the grocery stores, all of the grocery stores, they do have apps. So on these apps, they do have coupons available. And so again, like Nia said, you might have a coupon 1 month for a certain food item that's a non-perishable, and the next month they don't have a coupon for it. So it might be good to just go ahead and just stock up on it then while you have the coupon option. But yeah, the grocery stores, and of course like Target, they do have those coupon options within their apps. So you can save on food and even like supplies that you might need. So like, go ahead.
That was when we were talking about the apps or going to these different stores. There's an app called Flip, and I couldn't think of the name of it. I just had to look it up just now. There's an app called Flip. And if there's particular things or items that you're looking for, you put in that item and it can tell you what the price is at all of the different stores and then who may have it on sale. So that's a good way to kind of bargain shop or make your list. If you're good with sticking to a list going into a store, that's a great way to create a list to kind of keep yourself on a budget, to know which stores have whatever it is that you need at a cheaper price versus another store. In addition to that, I have gotten really good at ordering stuff online now, because I know that for me, going into the store, I'm always picking up a whole bunch of extra stuff that I know that I said in my head, I'm not going to buy, I'm not going to get it. But ordering online and even going to the store to pick it up, there are certain things that I just got to choose myself. My meats, my vegetables, I got to do that myself. I don't want anybody picking over my vegetables, but my other stuff, I put that on that list. I put it to the cart. I do it, I pay for it, and I just go to the store and go pick it up. Because again, if I get in that store, everything that I had on my list, I probably won't even buy a whole bunch of other stuff that I had no intention of actually even getting, and then walk out spending a whole lot more money than I had intended to, because I'm in the store. People tend to shop with their eyes or shop when they're hungry. That's the other thing. Don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Do not shop when you're hungry. That is the worst thing and the quickest way to spend a whole lot more than what you actually intend on spending. And you end up buying a whole lot of more junk and other stuff that does not even make a meal, just because you see it and you're hungry, and don't do it.
Keeping a list as well.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to Target, I have to have a list. But a lot of times when I'm walking through stores, like Target, I might fill my basket, and on the way out, things are going back on the shelf at the same time. But I also, there was something I wanted to add to what you're saying, Nia, about the, I wanted to add, as far as like, if you're someone who hosts all the time, so maybe you're the person in the family with the biggest house or the biggest space, and you're the person that hosts all the time, then consider just getting generic supplies, like generic cups, generic plasticware, generic plates, and then having like I have I call it my party bin. So it's just because anytime you host, there's always going to be leftover plates, plasticware, cups. So when you're using just the generic ones, then that means that every time you host, you don't have to buy more. That a lot of times, if you get a big bulk of it, then it's going to last a couple of parties that you host. And then you might have to re-up at a later time. Or like something like, I feel like my mom, she does the same thing. So she does Christmas Eve every year. I'm telling you, she uses the same plates every year. Like it's whatever she uses whatever she had left over from the previous year. So she usually buys in bulk because she knows every year she does the Christmas Eve party. So that means that every year you don't have to buy more plates or more cups, which those can get expensive because those are things that don't go on sale every year. Those things are normally regular price. So that's another thing to consider if you're a person that hosts all the time, just having generic things that you can use for multiple events, especially like if you're not hosting a lot of people at a time. Let me see. I also wanted to add as far as like shopping, especially I know Nia brought up shopping online. Sometimes shopping online, there's different deals online that you cannot use in the store, as well as there's coupons that you can only use in the store. So if you have those subscriptions set up, or if you're using like Retail Me Not, or you're using the Flip app, there might be options that's only online only. So that's another thing to consider, maybe doing those things online, as well as you do have the option to split your payments. So it's not like you have to pay the entire purchase at one time. So, there's app like Afterpay, Klarna, QuadPay, PayPal. Some retailers are coming up with their own, I call them quad pay, but basically your payments are interest free and they're divided into 4 installments. Now, you do have to be careful with this because you do not want to overspend because you have these smaller payments coming out. So you still have to budget yourself when it comes to the quad pays. I think Affirm is another one. So you still got to budget for it because again, you're gonna have those monthly payments come out. I think they come out twice a month. So just make sure you're not having way too many of them coming out and now you're in a financial crisis. So you do have to budget for these as well, but it does kind of take the load off not having to spend like that full $100 at one time. So you can split that 100 up into multiple payments. The next thing is don't procrastinate, because not only does procrastination create stress and chaos while you're shopping, and we already know how the holiday shopping is. A lot of people are off from work, they're out of school, the stores are gonna be busy all day long. If you're a type of person that you like to shop early in the morning because there's not a lot of people there during the holidays, it's gonna be everybody gonna be there all day long. So that just adds on extra stress and chaos while shopping. So then what happens is you're stressing out, you can't think straight. So then you end up just grabbing whatever and not really thinking about like how much it might be. So you end up spending more. Just like Nia said, going to the store hungry. That's a stressful situation because you're hungry, you can't think straight. So you just grabbing whatever. And then the same thing is not going to the store without a list. Usually when you have a list, you can check off your list and you're only going to go after those things on your list. But if you don't have a list and you procrastinated, then it's like, I don't know about you guys, me in particular, I can't think straight. And so my only goal is to get out of the store. And so what that means is I'm not going to be really price matching. I'm not going to be checking like who got it cheaper, because at this point, I don't even want to go to another store. So I'm just gonna grab whatever, and I'm just gonna end up paying more. So just make sure you're not procrastinating. It's November, so it's good to start shopping now while people are still at work, and because those last once you get to that second week of December, it's going to get crazy in all the stores. And then next, shop the end of year sales or end of season sales for next year's gifts and holidays, as well as holiday decorations. I used to work at a retail store. And so that end of year sale, you'll have like items that'll be like $3, $4, $5. And so a lot of people would come in and buy stuff that they plan on giving the next year. Like if it's someone that you buy clothes for every year, then you can probably consider like sizing up and purchasing those items for next year. Or if it's other like different gifts that are seasonal or that's going to be on sale at the end of the year, you can consider just going ahead and getting them while they're super cheap and then just saving them to give as gifts next year. And we all know how holiday decorations happen. Usually before the holidays are over, they're already slashing the price from in half. And eventually the price might be 70, 80% off. So if you're someone who decorates every year, or you know that you're going to be having holiday parties next year, and you do want certain themed items, then I would consider going ahead and buying those things when they're at those very cheap prices. And then of course, like having like bins that you can store them away into for next year. And then lastly, consider gift cards for picky shoppers. I am a picky shopper, so I tell everyone, give me a gift card, because I don't want anyone stressing over me. So I usually just tell everyone, these are the stores I like, give me a gift card. I don't care what the amount is, just give gift cards are my favorite gifts to receive. So if you have people like me that are picky shoppers, and you know that there's someone who shop on Amazon all the time, or they're a Target person, or they're a Walmart person, like like what their go-to stores are, then consider getting the gift cards, because not only does the gift cards allow you to budget your shopping, because you can pick dollar amounts that fits into your budget, as well as it can allow you to be able to get more gifts if you have a lot of people to shop for. I know, like Nia said, like if it's a lot of children, maybe it's like a $5 gift card, or maybe it's like $5 kids. They'll take $1 and be happy. So just consider gift cards or maybe cash as an option for picky shoppers.
You know what I did last year for my kids, and they're older too, but they still enjoyed it. They were like small kids. So I didn't shop last year at all, but I did wrap up money in different denominations. $1 was a roll of quarters, a dime was in one box, a penny was in another box, a sack of nickels was in another box, and I just wrapped them up. So they got to pick their boxes. So whatever boxes that they walked away with, that was their gift. And they had fun going through the boxes because they were excited to have the money. They didn't really care how much it was, but they enjoyed the boxes. And they said it's not something that they want to do every year, but it was a good idea. And it saved me a lot of headache and hassle of going and rummaging through the store and trying to figure out what somebody was going to get. I just thought it was a cool idea to wrap up money in boxes and see them scrounge over who's on it. And they were trying to shake it up and see what was in the boxes or whatever. And these are older kids, so but they had a good time. They enjoyed it.
In my family, everybody on my list, all they want is money and gift cards. So the only person I actually buy a gift for is like my dad, and he normally just want work jeans. So I just go find the cheapest jeans for him to mess up. But I like to do that too. If I do get gift cards, I like to wrap it just so they can have the experience of unwrapping something. Or I might get something cheap, like from the dollar section or dollar store, to kind of put with the gift card to make it a little bit extra special. The same thing with cash. Like my nieces and nephews are older, so all they want is cash. So I might do like what Nia said. I might like roll up the cash into something where they had to dig around for it. Or I might add some candy to it, their favorite candy. The candy is cheap, so I'll add their favorite candy.
I did that with a ball of saran wrap with my best friend. So I put a bunch of small little things that I got from Dollar Tree, her favorite little snacks and things like that. And I wrapped them up in a huge ball of saran wrap. So she had to unwrap the whole ball of saran wrap to get to each layer of whatever it is that I put in that box and that thing for her. But I put the saran wrap ball, it ended up being like a huge ball that she was literally unwrapping to try to get to, but I put that ball inside a box, wrapped it up and put a bow on it and whatnot too. And that was a blast, because by the time she got all the way to the center of the very middle, it was a small little pack of gum. It was a small little pack of gum. She thought that was the most hilarious thing, and she absolutely.
Okay, we're not going to be in any gift situation with you.
Hey. But you got to make it fun, though.
You do have to make it fun.
The holidays are so stressful enough as is. You know, there's so many folks that are still going through a whole lot of other financial hardships and things like that, and that are working on a budget or just getting back to work or what have you. And they have to think about stuff like that. So you got to make it fun. You got to make it a little as interactive as you possibly can without stressing yourself out. And that's another thing I want to kind of touch on real quick too. Being that the holidays are so stressful, there are a lot of folks that go through it. You know, we're still living in the era of COVID. There are a lot of family members that are not with us anymore because of COVID or whatever. And it gets hard for people, you know, to deal with. So if you see, or please watch out for the signs, you know, when you see the family members getting a little bit more withdrawn, they're not interested, you know, try to just kind of be there and be conscious and aware of what folks or how they're changing their routine and what they're doing. Your neighbors that don't have family members, you know, things like that. So just kind of be conscious and be a little bit aware. And even if you yourselves are kind of going through some things, then know that, you know, that there are resources, there are centers that are out there. And we're going to be doing a presentation about that next month too. So kind of be on the lookout for that. But that is something that to also keep in mind because of the holidays.
And then keep in mind, like, relatives that, you know, you always have that relative that's kind of like always to themselves, or a lot of people don't do a lot for. So also keep in mind those relatives too, that a lot of people might not, they might not spend a lot of time with people. Maybe it can be, oh, okay, I'm gonna come over and bring you some food, or I'll come over and clean up or straighten up, like finding something, and that can kind of lead into giving your time. Because like I know for myself, I have relatives that, you know, they're always kind of to themselves, and they might not be the one that gets showered with gifts. And so I'm always type of person like, okay, well, let me get, you know, I want to get that relative a gift or something, because they might not have a lot of friends, and or maybe a lot of immediate, they might be single, or they don't have the immediate family that showers them with gifts. And maybe you can pick one of those relatives that you do something special for, So like Nia said, they might be withdrawing because of those reasons as well.
Well, you also have those family members too that may not have a lot of money, so they feel like, let me back out a
Yes.
little bit because I don't really have money to spend. So because I don't have money to spend, that I'm not going to come around as much. So when you were saying or talking about, you know, cheap, is we're budget friendly. We're bargaining. We're not going to say cheap. That's such a bad a derogatory term. We're not going to say cheap, but I want to say don't slip on the cheaper stores, on the more cost-effective stores. You find a lot of deals when you're just kind of out there and randomly looking. You know, don't slip on the big lots or the Ollie's and the Family Dollars and the Dollar Trees and the stuff like that. You could find all kinds of stuff. And yeah, you could find all kinds of stuff, or even in some of those other stores where you don't even think about stuff, like Lowe's and Home Depot. They have a whole little clearance section in the back, or they hold the little rack, you know, a little household stuff that they sell that's really, really cheap sometimes, that I kind of find going through there. At what's the other, the bookstore, Border, is it Borders? Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble has the little bargain books and the little gift boxes and the little kits and craft things and stuff like that for the kids
Half
that are
price.
really
They still have
inexpensive.
half price bookstores.
They still have half price bookstores. Yeah. I was always that person that gave the books to the kids, so they didn't never like my gifts, but I'm just saying, but but
There's
I'm just,
also like Etsy. Etsy, you can find a lot of budget friendly options. If you're a person that's not a very crafty person, then like Etsy, you might find some budget friendly gifts or some customized gifts on Etsy. So it's especially if you want to do something special for as gifts as well, and you're helping a small business owner at the same time.
I was about to say, if you are a crafty person, this is your time
Yes.
to make this a
Shine,
little
right.
side hustle. If you got little ornaments or little gifts and things like that that you can create, absolutely start promoting it and advertising it right now. Get those holiday orders in and make your little side money. That this is the ideal time. This is the ideal time. Everybody's got some kind of little craft or know of somebody that's really crafty that can do a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Don't be scared to get out there and
Where was
promote it.
I went to homecoming and I saw this lady, she had Prairie View ornaments. And I was like, you know what, if I knew somebody that I would want to buy one of those for, I would have actually went and bought the ornament. So if you have people who have like, they went to certain colleges, like you could do like the college colors,
Astros or the
Astros,
Texans.
Texans. Um, if you're someone that that's very good, like what is it called, a Cricut machine?
Cricket.
Cricut, the Cricut machine.
Yep.
If that's
I have
something
one of
like
those.
yeah, if you're good at that, you can make a lot of different things on that machine. Yeah, my brother-in-law, he has one, and my niece, she has one. So she makes custom stuff. And so yeah, if you have the knack for that, I would go ahead and start creating those things now. I mean, you can market for free on social media, so it don't cost much to market. Also, you can probably look into like area, like little flea markets or like holiday markets, and see if you can, like if they have options where you can come and set up and sell your items without paying a cost. Because there's so many little holiday markets that pop up at the end of the year.
Even then, at your church, at your kids' daycare and things like that, there's all kinds of places, and you can go in and ask the store owner, hey, look, I've got this small little item. Do you mind if I set up a table outside your store or whatever? You know, kids do it all the time for the other organizations and whatnot, but it doesn't hurt to ask. But now is definitely the time to, if you have that entrepreneurial spirit that you've been kind of suppressing, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
Yes. And you can earn, like I said, you can earn that extra money. Not only it can go into your gift giving, but it can be set aside for other savings that you have in mind. Or you can make those homemade gifts. Like Nia mentioned, making the homemade gifts to give out. So is there anything anyone wants to add? Do we have, okay, we don't have anything in the chat. Is there anything anyone wants to add that you okay with unmuting and adding to the presentation things that you do?
Okay.
Well, I do. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, if there are not any other questions, then we'll just move on.
Yes, so I do want to let everyone know what Family Houston does when it comes to financial coaching. Our financial coaching at Family Houston is a free service that we have available to the community. We have coaches in pretty much all corners of Houston. So we have a coach in Katy. We have a coach in the Fort Bend area. We have a coach in Clear Lake, Bay Area. And then of course, I focus on that central Houston area. We also have bilingual coaches as well. So there's a coach for everybody in every corner of Houston that's available for you to meet with. The majority, we mostly do virtual coaching, so it's very convenient for you. So we can find a convenient time through Monday through Friday throughout today to be able to meet with you to do financial coaching. And you're looking at about an hour out of your month to meet with a financial coach, unless you're wishing to meet with us more frequently. But these are some things that we help with. We do help with creating a budget plan and learning how to manage your money better. If you're looking to get out of debt, so we can help you strategize ways to become debt free. If you're wanting to increase your credit score, then we can talk about ways to help you build your score, as well as educate you on how your credit score works and what can hurt your credit score. For those savings goals, it takes a lot of accountability when it comes to saving and maintaining savings. So we can help you create those saving goals, as well as we speaking to you monthly, we're going to follow up on those saving goals. Like, did you meet your saving goal for the month? How much do you have saved currently? So we're going to be following up on those saving goals. So then, well, I'm going to have to meet with Monet and I'm going to have to let her know that I didn't save this month, or I took out of my savings account. So usually when you have to answer to someone, you tend to follow through with those actions. And if you get off track, we are here to help you get back on track. And then lastly, when it comes to big purchases, like purchasing a car or a house, is getting you credit ready for those purchases, as well as getting you to the right resources to make those purchases a lot easier as well to obtain. Here's how to schedule with Family Houston. You can simply scan our QR code. So if you are viewing the presentation on your computer, you can scan the QR code and it would take you directly to our intake form. Once you complete an intake form, you'll select financial coaching. Usually, if you don't select a particular coach, then it will be sent to someone closest to your zip code. But if you want to meet with a particular coach, then you would put that coach's name under the referral along with the organization that referred you to our program. Once that intake survey is submitted, then one of us will reach out to you to schedule an appointment that's convenient to your schedule, as well as you'll receive our consent form documents. And if you need to reach out to me, you can schedule directly with me via my cell phone, 832-987-2023. You can call or text me to schedule, and then I will send you the intake documentation to complete, as well as you can contact me via email at mcheney@familyhouston.org. So that's mcheney@familyhouston.org. If you want to schedule an appointment or if you have any questions about financial coaching. And that's all I have.
Okay. All right, all of our participants here, and I can't believe nobody had not one question, not one comment, or one thing to add to the conversation, little tips and things that they actually do or utilize. But we appreciate you guys coming out and joining us again for this month of service presentation. We are in the process of scheduling our 2023 schedule. If there are, oh, I'm sorry, Myra.
No, go ahead, and I'll at the end.
Oh, we're in the process of scheduling our 2023 calendar. If there are other sessions, if not part of the financial capability, but with also a month of service, if there are any other presentations that you guys would like to hear or any topics that we don't currently offer, then please let us know so that we can keep that in mind as we're scheduling for throughout the year. In addition to that, again, Ms. Monet is available for one-on-one sessions. If you guys do have further questions or would like to schedule that one-on-one, we do encourage that as this is a free session, and it's personal, it's one-on-one. So you guys can, do that as often as you feel you need to help you with attaining whatever goal it is that you have in regards to your finances. So definitely want you to do that. So Ms. Myra.
Thank you, Ms. Nia. Ms. Monet, thank you as always. You're amazing. I'm always trying to learn and grow when it comes to my budget, which Ms. Nia knows is not the greatest. Let's just go, leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. But
your husband can hear this, right? So we don't want to tell him.
we're being good today. Okay, everyone. Don't tell on me. But I wanted to let you all know that, during the Christmas season, we're all looking for a different job, or we're going through different stresses in our life. That we say, oh my God, I'm tired of this job. I'm looking for something better. I wanted to let you know that the City of Houston Department of Neighborhoods is hiring. There are 3 positions that they are hiring for. The first one is an administrative specialist position that starts at $49,000 a year. It will close on November 9th. At 11:59, and the next 2 is a community service inspector and the code enforcement officer training, which both start at $39,000. Now, if you're interested in those positions, make sure you go to the City of Houston Career Center website and apply online. Now, one of the greatest part is we are going to be attending a lot of job fairs in November. So I wanted to kind of let you know where we're going to be, but make sure you first apply online and then go to the job fairs, because there is going to be someone talking to you about the positions, and they might be able to push that application or that interview forward. So tomorrow, November 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., we will be at Build Strong Academy job fair at 10631 Harwin Drive, Houston, Texas. On November 9th, from 8 a.m. through 3 p.m. We're going to be at HCC Central Construction Job Fair and we will be at the WW Harmon Building at 1300 Holman Street, Houston, Texas 77004. And on November 10th, we will be at Job and Career Resource Day Job Fair from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. at Cashmere Multi-Service Center at 4802 Lockwood Drive, Houston, Texas 77026. And the last job fair for November will be at HCC Women in Apprenticeship Summit Job Fair. It will be at HCC West Houston Institute, November 16th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2811 Hayes Road, Houston, Texas 77082. Now, if you'd like for me to send you this flyer, send me an email at Myra, MAYRA Hippolyte, HYPOLITE at HoustonTX.gov. Guys, we're all looking to move up to a different place, a different career path. We're all trying to find what's best for us. One thing that I always tell everyone, and a lot of people don't like to hear this, is don't ever fall in love with your job if your job does not love you. And that means if your job cannot pay your bills and cannot take care of you and financially help you or make you love your job and be ecstatic about working there, then you need to start moving and looking and pushing to a better career. And I have to tell you, I started with the city of Houston as a receptionist, and that was in 1991. So when you're looking for a career, you want to look for a corporation or a business that there's a lot of different options. And with God's grace, I have been promoted several different times, of course. And as a code enforcement officer, I started as a code enforcement officer training, code enforcement officer, senior inspector, assistant chief, chief inspector, and now I am a senior community outreach coordinator, and as well as a recruiter for the Department of Neighborhoods. So guys, when you're looking for something, look, search, feel it, and enjoy it, and look at what you want to do. But please keep looking, especially when you're young. If there are no benefits at that corporation, always keep looking and moving, and just, don't fall in love with your job if your job does not love you. Again, that means that if your job does not help you with your degrees, will not compensate you for you going to your university or school, does not assist you in paying you, does not cover your pay, does not cover your bills, then you need to keep going and looking and getting better. So thanks, everyone.
I think that's everybody's job nowadays with inflation.
I got to be careful what I say.
We can all say we can always use more money. We all can use more money.
Exactly. But you know what? One of the things, Nia, you and I talked about the other days, when the younger generation's looking for jobs, they're graduating, but you want to take a look at different corporations that offer different types of careers. That you can go from one division to one department, and you can keep going and moving. And you got to be careful. A lot of us when we're young don't think about retirement or pensions or 401ks. We have to take a look at that, because eventually you will be like me and be in your 60s and you go, oh, thank God I did pick a career path that helped me with my retirement.
I just put the job postings in the link that I took from your Facebook page too. So they are there and available.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Monet? If anybody has any questions or anything about anything, please feel free again to share this information. We will be emailing the link out to everyone. Also go to Amos Houston TX. Please follow and like us there on the Facebook and Instagram, and soon to be TikTok. I was about to say Twitcher, but because there's so many of them between Twitch and TikTok and Twitter and all those, we'll be everywhere. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll find you. But yes, please follow us on social media so that you can keep up to date with a lot of other information that we've got that's going on too. So again, thank you, Ms. Monet. We appreciate you and appreciate the sponsorship of Family Houston and providing this information to us year after year after year. We definitely appreciate it and the services that you guys offer. So thank you very much, Ms. Myra. We appreciate you being here this evening as well. We hope the remainder of your evening goes well. You all take care, stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in the spring of 2023 when we come back and conclude with our financial capabilities series. So you guys have a wonderful afternoon, evening, and wonderful holidays. Stay safe. Oh, one thing I did want to add, to keep conscious and keep budget friendly. We have this thing what we call the 30-day bag challenge. So in our little branding, if you could kind of see it, we have these little Ziploc bags with instructions on how to keep track of your budget and your spending by putting everything that you spend for the next 30 days. Today is November the 2nd. So yesterday, if you bought something, write it down, stick it in an envelope, stick it in a Ziploc bag, whatever it is. At the end of your 30 days, take that information out of that bag and add it all up so that you can actually see where your money is going. Because a lot of times people spend, they're not conscious, they're not aware, they're just swiping the card or pulling money out or what have you, and not really paying attention or focusing on where exactly is it they're spending their money. So that kind of keeps you a little bit more conscious and keep you a little bit more aware of where and how often you are really spending. So some people don't really realize that I'm going to Starbucks like 2 or 3 times a week. If I'm spending,
Stop talking about me.
if I'm spending $5 or $6 every time I go 5 or 6 times a week, that's 30, 40 bucks per week times 4. That's $100 and some odd dollars that I'm spending every month that I could be saving somewhere else. And we're not saying that to tell you that you have to cut back or stop or quit, because if you work, my dad always says, if you work, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Let that be your treat, but don't overdo it and don't continue to just spend and spend and spend, but just kind of be conscious and a little bit aware of how and where you're spending your money. So if you guys are interested in receiving any of these 30-day bags or these Ziploc bags for you, your family, your kids, or what have you, because we know some people that have actually made it a challenge in their household to see if you can kind of cut back or see who could spend the least amount of money, and then figure out what you're going to do with that additional savings once you become aware of that. So if you guys are interested in having that bag, then please reach out to me via email when I send you the link, and let me know, and I will be happy to mail you guys out one of the bags or a couple of the bags or whatever it is that you like. So just wanted to I remember from the beginning of the presentation, you were talking about something and I wanted to bring that up, but I forgot. So with that being said, thank y'all very much. Y'all have a wonderful remaining of your evening. Thank you, Ms. Myra. Thank you, Ms. Monet, and we will talk to you guys really soon.
Be safe.
All righty. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
That's all. Let's go through here. We're just gonna remove them, and because we were gonna wait on that last person.
I'm leaving. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Myra.
Talk to y'all later.
All right, have a good one. Okay, so we do have these bags too, Monet. If anybody wants these bags, we have these Ziploc bags if somebody wants them. So, but okay. So
Do you want to pause recording or keep?
Oh, oops. I stopped the Facebook. I didn't stop that.